Yeezy Day is over, it was a lot of fun, and there seemed to be one shoe that was a highlight for a lot of people. This seemed to be a very limited pair of shoes. I mean, I entered a bunch of different raffles and of course came back with nothing. But I thought I had to get this one in to show you guys and of course take a look at it myself. So without further ado, let's get into today's pair of sneakers, the Yeezy Foam Runner in the MX Cream Clay colorway. So here's the box, same box that we're kind of used to. Of course, the little flip up, zero markings on the top. Everything is on the inside except for that one little barcode which you can find just kind of on the outside of the box. So let's flip these open and let me show you today's pair of crazy sneakers. And of course, it is the Yeezy Foam Runner MX Cream Clay. Just in case any of you haven't seen a Yeezy Foam Runner box, again, like I said, everything is on the inside. So you're getting, of course, the foam runner, and then you get your size tag and everything on the bottom there. But that's pretty much it for the box. Now the shoes, these look super cool. Yet another MX kind of mixture effect for the Yeezy Foam Runner, and I'm really liking this colorway. Super different to the rendered images. So if you bought these based off of those rendered images, there's definitely going to be a bit of a disparity with the actual product when you get it in hand. Yeah, just completely different colors. So the release of these, like I said, was Yeezy Day, or at least out in the US it was Yeezy Day. Over here in the UK it was just a regular day because we got Yeezy Day on the 3rd of August. But either way, these dropped on the 2nd. They retail for £70 here in the UK, or $80 if you're out in the US. Now of course that retail price doesn't really mean much if you didn't manage to get your hands on these because the resale price is vastly different. I believe these currently go for about £200 here in the UK. And when you compare that to the actual retail price, it is a huge jump, and I guess a pretty big thing if you're going to make the decision to, you know, pull the trigger on, I guess, any of these foam runners. They are all ridiculously high in the resale value. Now, the resale value compared to the other ones, I guess £200 is still a huge amount, but it's not as bad as some of the other colorways. And I assume over time, these are just going to go straight up and meet the other ones, just coming in at an even more unattainable resale price tag. Because first of all, they are all pretty solid in terms of the colorway choices. Like, I really like them all. Now, I may have some kind of preference to the solid color one. There's just some details about these, not only just the fact that it's a solid colorway, arguably a little bit more wearable, but physically there are some differences between the solid color ones and the mixture effect ones. Now, I know it's a very polarizing silhouette, but again, just look at what it's doing. It's selling out super quick. This is probably one of the more harder shoes to get your hands on in 2021. And again, it always helps when they release more colorways and just more versions because it drives the resale price right down, and that's always a good thing. So this is the 5th colorway to release of the Yeezy Foam Runner. Again, another mixture effect that we found. This one seems to have a third color mixed into that, I guess, secondary mixture color that you get on here. So the Moon Grey seems to have two colors, a solid base layer of gray mixed with a kind of cream or tannish beige effect that you get with the mixture. Now this one seems to have a brown, a kind of tan or beige, as well as a bit of a gray color. And which colorway you prefer is entirely up to you. Personally, I might have to choose the cream clay, and it's also a decent thing because these are significantly cheaper than this Moon Grey colorway. And like I was saying, there's some differences between the kind of mixture effect Yeezy Foam Runners and the solid colored ones. So this is the sand colorway of the Yeezy Foam Runner, very similar to the Ararat colorway. So this one and the Ararat were both made in the United States of America, and all of these mixture ones are all made in China. Now I believe the fact that these are manufactured in China is due to the mixture effect itself. That's something that only Chinese manufacturers can accomplish, this mixture effect. That's kind of the rumor that I've heard on the grapevine. I don't know how accurate that is, but it kind of would make sense because the only two solid colored foam runners are both made in the United States. Now the differences are really small. We really have to be nitpicking here. Of course, the colorway, but actually physically there is some difference. Like the texture of the material that is used is definitely a little bit different. I would say this one is almost a little bit more textured and kind of a little bit rougher to the touch, whereas the sand colorway, and I assume the Ararat as well, is a little bit more soft, a little bit more frictionless when you're feeling it in hand. It feels a little bit more silky. There may be a little bit of a weight difference here as well, but again, it would be so minor that it's really, again, super nitpicky. I definitely think that this mixture effect goes really well with the Foam Runner model in general. I like the really nice kind of base tan color that it has really in right now, this kind of brownish tone to it. Now the secondary or the third kind of colorway that you get, the gray that you can see, and again those rendered images I believe kind of made it out to look a little bit more blue, but it definitely kind of blends with the colors and almost just looks like a little bit more of a mixed color when you mix the tan and the brown. I think they've done this one really well. This is probably one of my favorite colors on this mixture effect model. So the Foam Runner overall as a pair of shoes, as something that you put on your foot, is easy to chuck on, super comfortable, I think looks good, and I guess that's where the most resistance comes with people thinking that this does not look good, which again, you're entitled to your own opinion, and again, these are always going to be a very kind of controversial or polarizing pair of shoes. Now as for sizing, I personally go with my regular Yeezy size, that is a half size up from my true size. Now I believe you can go true to size with these are not as snug as other Yeezy 350 models or the Yeezy MNVN or the 700 V3s. A lot of the Yeezy models are very snug, however these I feel like have a little bit more give, so I would recommend most of you to go true to size. However, if you are a half size, obviously go up rather than down because these are not made in any half sizes. We've got the ochre colorway right around the corner. Of course, towards the back end of this year we're getting the vermilion all over red colorway, so some really interesting things coming from the Foam Runner, and I'm sure we're going to see plenty of other colorways. But for right now, I've got my 3 colorways and I'm perfectly happy with these. And you know what, I'd love to know from you guys, which one do you prefer out of these 3? Which one would you pick? Or maybe you have the mineral blue or the Ararat colorway. I feel like there's not that much in it between the sand and the Ararat, but let me know what your favorite Foam Runner is down in the comment section, and let me know what you think of the Yeezy Foam Runner in this MX Cream Clay colorway. But that about wraps it up for today's video. Thank you so much for coming through, hanging out for yet again another video. Thank you for liking, commenting, and of course subscribing. I'll catch you guys in the next one, but until then.